Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Underrail Expedition. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we go down the ladder. Wait, did you see the marker there? The marker was in the wrong place. Oh, no. No. It is a shadow we expected. We have been starving ourselves for days in hope he would come for his prize. Such a heavenly feast it would be. A storm of senses at the break of abstinence. The flesh of the High Ones, so opulent. Their thoughts clear in brisk waters from ancient glacial currents. But I see now that he will not dare face us. And instead we got you, another mangy rail rat. Trash-digging, foul-smelling, ugly, dysgenic rodent. But alas, we have not eaten for a while, so we must make do. Come, little one, let us take you down to the corridors of pain. Take heart, for on the other side, a greater destiny awaits. You must descend to become exalted, proudly rise to submission. Come, join your river into our sea and become the flesh of a god. Okay, we got an autosave. We got the unboss. We're not doing it. Yes. I mean, I am. I'm just not doing it right now. We'll be ready for that. The soundtrack down here is quite something. We got mutagen tanks. If I remember correctly, you can destroy those mutagen tanks to do things. But I don't remember anything correctly. This is, however, the end boss. And the autosave comes on the wrong spot. And even the other autosave comes on the wrong spot because it happens... I'm not sure it actually happens. Because I don't know if it's a different cell. But what we're looking for... Wait, didn't I mess with this? Modify sequence. Clear sequence. Create compound from sequence. Inject compound. System stable. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Because the sequence is 0. I have to have the... things with me. What do we have in the deep caverns? Find a way to open the large gate leading to Chort. That is true. Let me just reload the beginning of the episode. And a little bit of that. How do I get the... Right. That is what I need. The thing that we found on that console is what I need. I thought I was going to get something else. I'm confused. Well, it doesn't matter. Because as I said last episode, I have the footage. Bad things are happening. We don't pay attention to those bad things. I mean, it's just the gates opening. It's totally fine. And now we're going back to that place with the console. I mean, I'll do the journey off camera because we have a puzzle ahead of us. And now let's find out just what I have. Because plot. I have a lot of reagents here. And what we're looking for... Wait, what? Exitus-1. I think we have all the reagents. We have Echo 1 through 4. We have Helicon 1 through 3. That's good. And we have IO 1 through 3. That's what the computer had for us. And then we have Ovid 1 through 3. And then Solids 1 and 2. So we got all the reagents. What we don't have is how it's gonna work. How we're supposed to do anything with this. Now, Exitus-1 over here, I think that might be the trick. Because we need Exitus-2, I think. I think the game is gonna hold our hand a little bit. Like, it already held our hand. Like, this is a weird mixture of hand-holding and not hand-holding, I should say. Because it held our hand through the creation of the grenades, even though we could have definitely done that with the systems that the game has for us. But no, we had to go to this place, and then the game does it all for us. That said, the organic processor over here doesn't do anything. So what we need to do, I think, is to analyze Exitus-1. See what that does. So reagent unregistered, reagent name unregistered reagent. That's because it's not a reagent. So there's a sequence here, and I'm gonna write that down, and that's it. That's it. Okay, so I've written that down. That's important. Now, what we need to look for, I think, is for things that add all of this stuff. So I need to remove that. No, this is definitely not going to be infuriating at all. It's fine. Let's look through Echo 1. Of course, we can go back and forth, no problem, but we do have the thing. So this is pretty important. Let me look at... We got E, O... Yeah, so the letters are good for me, so I can just write E1. And then I can say that it's JT. We can look for it. Okay, JT is something I need. So let me write that down. JT. BX. BX is something I need as well. So I think that's just... I'm obviously, you don't have the benefit of my notes, but... Oh, look at that. It's got the minus. So these add and these remove. That's pretty important. So let's see. E1 is looking like a good candidate. PJ is also something I need. Okay. PJ. And then I write the ones that it removes. So it removes AS, which is something I need. It removes LJ, which is not a problem. I don't need to care about that because it just removes it, if I remember correctly. I guess we're gonna... I think it confused me. In the first time I played the game, it confused me, the instructions that we read in Kara's Residential. It confused me that it was gonna be like... because it matters if it removes things that you don't have, but I don't think it does. Then it removes EE, which we don't need. It removes WW, which we don't need as well. So, that's pretty important to know. I mean, all of this is going to be super important to know because we're just going to go through all of them. Hopefully we'll just get done. I wonder... I probably can make the different isotopes, can put them in. Let's see. E2, what do we have? AO. AO is not needed. So we need some... Wait a minute. Yeah, I need to be careful of the things that E1, for example, adds. I'll have to retry E1 just to make sure that I didn't write anything wrong. Because if it adds extra things, like for example, E2 over here adds AO, that's not good. It adds PJ, which is good, but I already have that in E1, so that's not too bad. Then, oh yeah, I see what the problem is. I see what I'm doing wrong here. I see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna write them all down, basically. I'm gonna do a little bit of pauses and all that. I'm basically gonna make jump cuts and all that. Because what I'm failing to understand, or what I failed to understand here, is that, remember how I said, oh, it's got, it removes LJ, we don't need LJ, it doesn't matter. Well, it does. If we're gonna have LJ, because we're gonna plan ahead. That's basically the plan here. And if we're gonna have LJ in our concoction, then we're gonna need to remove it, right? So we need to apply E1. At least I think that's the implication. So that's Echo 1. I noted down Echo 2 already. And then we have Echo 3. Oh, this is a lot more complex, this one. And then we have Echo 4. Very simple, very straightforward. Helicon 1. So that would be H1. I can look at it like that. And, yeah. I mean, admittedly, there's going to be some of these that are completely irrelevant. Because they're going to add nothing. Or remove nothing that we need. And that's exactly the plan. That's why I'm writing it down, so I don't need to, you know, worry about things that are not going to be needed. This one just adds all the stuff. Look at that. PP at the end. Good stuff. And then remove that. There's an easy way to do that, which is alt-click instead of using right-click or drags and all that. And we have Helicon 3 over here. Sorry for bumping the microphone, although we probably didn't hear it, because the SM7B is amazing. Okay, more cuts. IO1. I can just write I1. And it's important to note that the reason why I'm taking the time to write all this down on camera and all that, I mean, I'm not writing it on camera, because I have the notepad in front of me. The reason why I'm doing it is because these puzzles are completely... sorry, I'm writing down as I'm talking. These puzzles are completely unique in the sense that they're randomized, right? That's the correct expression. And we got IO2 over here, IO3. There you go. Ovid 1, and I believe there's only 5 left. This is the second page of that computer that we had last episode. Ovid 2. Now, we'll be honest, this is not the sort of puzzle. I don't think this is basically a pain in the ass. That's what this puzzle is. It's likely less of a pain in the ass. Well, it's a lot of less of a pain in the ass, to be fair, than having to fight the boss. As difficult as it is, the boss is just absolutely, without this thing, it's a pain. We might have been able to beat it without the thing that we're gonna make out of this. I don't know what we're gonna make out of this because I never did it in the first playthrough, but there we go. I mixed up before, but it is less of a pain in the ass. This, however, it's not the sort of puzzle that's rewarding in like, there's certain puzzles in video games that are a pain in the ass to do, but then they're super rewarding because the game really doesn't hold your hand and it's just absolutely unexpected that there's a solution for the puzzle like that. I can't really think of many like that, but because I play mostly RPGs, and RPGs aren't really famous for puzzles. Usually it's just questions that the game asks you, like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 do the... Oh, where are you going? Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 do that a lot, and I love it. It's good. Ask me riddles and I can solve them, or maybe my character can solve them, depending on what kind of game you're going for. And that's fantastic. I love it. However, this one is different. This one is a pain in the ass because I'm having to write all of this down, and I'm writing it down as I'm obviously talking right now. But I'm expressing my frustration at it. Yeah, this is a pain in the ass because it's done to be obtuse. This is not lack of hand-holding. Lack of hand-holding is the game giving you the systems that it has, and then letting you figure out how you can use those systems to your advantage. I think we're done. Yeah, basically we're done here. Then, yeah, basically letting you figure out how to use those systems. This is just dialogue. It's not really the systems, like, you know, systems. When I'm talking about systems, I'm talking about like skill checks, that you being able to open locks or enter combat and kill people or explode the little red barrels, whatever they're called, explosive barrels, whatever. That's very important, or that is how. Let me just leave because we need this. Also, we need that. Thank you very much. Let's go back over there. So now I have the things in front of me. So that's me using the systems. If you're the game doesn't, like, for example, the game doesn't hold my hand in me trying to solve the creeping dread situation. I would have to be fighting constantly in here. But it feels rewarding to do this, even though it is a pain in the ass. But it feels rewarding because the game is not holding my hand to do that. It didn't tell me to do that. And here in this puzzle, the game is telling us everything. The pain in the ass all comes from the fact that the game is telling us all the things. Because we need to write all these numbers down. They're not even hexadecimal, so you couldn't even convert them if you wanted to, which would be good for some maths if you want to. They are, well, they would be 24 to the squared 24. So that would be, well, they would be 20. No, not 20. How many letters are there in the alphabet? It's actually more because it's got numbers as well. So anyway, it's like 32-bit, or not bit at all, but whatever. So what are we doing? Well, I don't know, but I do know that I have all the numbers in front of me. So I'm looking for US, AS, XL, MV, BX, K1, PJ, JT, PP, WW, and ZN. And obviously these mean nothing. But what I am interested in is I want to find as many positives and as many good positives as I possibly can. We can actually let's make it a better episode. Instead of me saying letters at the camera, we can do this like this. So there it is. That's what I'm looking for here. Oh, this is beautiful. This is going to be a great episode. I'm sure you're going to love this. And hopefully it will help you if you're trying to finish the game yourself, because obviously I can't give you the answer because it's all randomized, as I was saying. So, what we're looking for here is, I was saying before, the E1 is actually pretty decent because it's got the JT, it's got the BX and PJ, and it removes other stuff. But E1 is a nice candidate. I'm gonna sort of note it down for me and just be like, E1 is good. And now we can look at E2. E2 didn't look as good because it adds AO, PJ, MO. So we don't need AO or PJ, and we have PJ. We already have PJ on E1, so that's good. E3, what do we have? H6, WB. Yeah, we don't need those. WB, BX. We have already on E1. PJ already. QX, we do not need that. T2, do not need that. An easy trick to remember is that anything with numbers we don't need apart from K1. So let's try to find a K1 early. Let's just get past the E3 right now. So QX, T2, and AS. We are going to need AS, and it looks like E3 has the AS. So I'm going to underline AS, but E3 is a pain because it adds a bunch of stuff that we would have to remove after the fact. So we're not going to worry about that. E3 is just marked as an asterisk. Anyway, so let's look for a P1, or a K1 rather, so we can forget anything that has, or just know intuitively that anything that has a number is not needed. So any simple mutagens in here that we have with just a K1 in there. We do have H1. It adds ZN, which we need. That's lovely. Let me actually note that down. So basically what I'm doing is I wrote this down at the top of the page, and then I'm like putting arrows over here to sort of denote that I chose something that has that. So that way I know at a glance that I'm not going to need it again. So either way, we're looking for ZN, WW, which we also... Oh, this is a beautiful one. I think the game probably makes it so that you actually only have to find like 4 or 5 different reagents, rather than having to mix them all together in a really complicated manner. But I don't remember exactly. Anyway, H1 is beautiful because it adds, and I will read to you, ZN, WW, K1. So that is exactly what we need, and I'm going to mark it down as H1 being what I want. So we're still missing USAS, XL, MV, and PP. So let's look for a PP that is small, and by that I mean a mutagen that is small that has a PP. Unfortunately, everything that has a PP is very big. Well, or fortunately, depending on the turn of events. Let's look at another thing then. Maybe AS, because we sort of disregarded... I'm talking about this one, obviously. We sort of disregarded E3 that added an AS, and I really want to disregard it completely. So let's look at something that has an AS. We have O3. O3 is looking like a good candidate over here, because it's got US, it's got AS, it's got other things as well. It's got ZN, which we have already, which is not a problem, and LJ. So it adds a bunch of things. O3, I have hiccups. So what are we looking for here again? Is it the PP? No, I think it's the AS. Yeah, I was looking for AS because I have all the things written in front of me, and I can just look at a glance. Yeah, it's either E3 that we add that has AS, or it's O3. And O3 actually adds other things. So let's write it down. We're gonna add O3 because it seems to be the only option here. And obviously, if any of these choices are a dead end, I'll have to remake them. But I don't need to do them on camera as much as I'm doing them on camera right now, because I'm just sort of thinking out loud and writing things in my notepad. Either way, we got US as an AS, so that's pretty good on this O3. We've got an EE, so I'm going to write down at the bottom the extra ones. EE. So that's bad news. Well, another thing that I'm going to need to be careful about all of these is that, like, for example, H1 removes LJ, which we don't need. We don't have either. WB, which, again, we don't need. And HR, which we don't need. God damn it, Toby. Anyway, we have USAO. Did I say USAS? It adds EE, as I said, and then we have XL, so I'm going to write that down as well. XL, that we have extra. We're going to need to remove those. Hopefully they're already being removed by the other things that we have. We have ZN. We have ZN already. It doesn't need to be removed. We got MV. Ooh, we need MV. Did I note that before? So we're only missing XL and PP. Ooh, that's good news. It's a good advance. So let's see, MV, that's the one, and LJ, which we also have to remove. Okay. Now, I still don't know where we're going to add these things, because this is just a scanner, but we'll figure that out. Because I'm lost on that. But this is part of the puzzle. This needs to be done, so we can focus on it for the moment. So E, XL, and LJ are the extra ones that we have, and we are missing an XL and a PP. Coincidence? Because of the joke that I was making for. Well, let's see. XL. I haven't seen many XLs, so that might be a limiting factor. I haven't seen many PPs either, to be fair. I'm looking around. Oh, we got EEs, but that's not what I need. What in the world? I didn't note down any PP. Maybe this is. I should have put this in a notepad. It'd be easier to look. I said notepad. I mean a computerized notepad, not the real life one. So that you'd be able to see it as I did with the other puzzle in the expedition. But also it'd be easier to look for it. Let me jump cut for me finding it. I found it. It was hidden in H2. H2 is the only one that has a PP. It does not, however, have an XL. That is bad news, but we're definitely going to need to put H2 in there. Now, PP we have, but we're also going to have extra WB. That's probably not a problem because we have something that removes WB. I remember that, but we're going to worry about that later. We got a PJ, which we definitely need. Let me look over here as well. It's good. We got a PJ, so that's good. We have an MV, which we also need, and it's on camera right now. JT, yes, and a PP. This is good. H2 actually adds a lot of the things that we need. It's a good one. So we're only missing the XL. Now, ooh, all three adds XL. Why did I say that we didn't need XL? I'm very sorry about that. I'm an idiot and a bad person, and but I'm very pretty and I smell nice. So there we go. We have extra. We have only 4 components for the whole of this. They only add an extra EE, an LJ, and a WB. Now, what they remove is H1 will remove LJ. So I'm gonna note that down. That H1 removes LJ. None of them are conflicting. So basically, what I mean is, for example, L1 or H2, for example, adds a bunch of things, but it doesn't remove anything. And if I apply H2, or rather, if I apply H1, for example, after H2, H1 would remove LJ and WB and HR. But we don't need to worry about that. No, yeah, not JT, yeah. We don't need to worry about LJ, WB, and HR because we do not need them. They're not necessary. So there's nothing. What I mean by that is there's nothing conflicting. So 4 simple mutagens, that would be E1, H1, and H2, and O3. They all add all the things with the 3 mutagen samples that I was talking about, EE, LJ, and WB. So for the LJ, as I was saying, H1 removes it. H1 removes it as well, so that is very nice. And now hopefully, one of these. Oh, look at that! E1 removes. Oh no, E1 removes WW. I was just saying that they're not conflicting. That's a problem. That's a problem. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's just note down that E1 removes EE. Let's see if anything else removes EE. That is a lie. Nothing else removes EE. Actually, O3 removes WB, so let's note that down as well. So we got a lot of things helping us out in regards to the combinations that we have. Whew, okay, this is good news. Now, what are we gonna do with all of this? I do not know. Let's go back over here. I do not know are you going? No, it just takes forever. Yeah. Because I don't know where we put this. I think it might be next to Chort. So here we are. There's still enemies in here, by the way. So I think it might be next to Chort. Let's sort through here because we know what we're gonna need. We're gonna be making an Exitus-1. Did we find Exitus-2? I think maybe we're not going to find Exitus-2. Either way, we're going to be making that. And then we're going to need an E1, that is an Echo 1. We're going to need an H1, that is a Helicon 1, and an H2, Helicon 2. And then we're going to be needing a O3. There it is. So these are the components, and they all somehow remove what we need to remove. Now, where are we going? I know where we're going. We're going to the same place where we were at the very beginning of the episode. Past the gates of Chort. Q. Sabaton. I mean, don't do it, because otherwise I'm gonna get content ID, but queue it on your own computer. That way, it's better. Dang it! Who's... Oh, it's the Cuddle Snails. Nah. Here we are. Okay, now, let's hope that this is indeed what we need to do, because I... Inject compound. No compound. Wait. Mutagen reagent store. Oh, I see. Okay, okay, yeah. So I didn't figure that out before, but I think this had something in it, and that's why. Now, what am I... It's kind of funny that Chort doesn't see us in here, even though we're right next to it. And so that's good as well, because I don't want to have to fight the other things. So, we're going to need to remove EE, LJ, and WB. Now, we do know that EE needs to, or E1 needs to be inserted early. And that's because it removes WW, which we are going to need, and AS, which we also are going to need. I think that's the only conflict that we have. So, what adds... So, and we are definitely going to need to insert E1, not first, but we're going to need to insert it early because it removes the EE. So, what adds the EE? That would be O3. Okay. Let's hope that O3 looks good. Okay, this is good. So, let's go with O3. O3 goes first. Inject compound. No compound? Wait, what? Modify... Wait, what? Manufacturing agent from sequence, injecting stable. What? What the heck? What? What are you talking about? Sequence... Mutagen reagent storage. What am I doing wrong? It says cannot modify sequence in compound state. Create compound. Oh, I need to clear a sequence. I think. Oh, no, that's my oddities. Okay. So we clear the sequence and then we inject no compound. There it is. Okay, okay. Yeah, so we just add these. Wow, that's confusing. Ah, man. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. So we clear the sequence. We can modify. So what we're gonna add first, as I was saying, is gonna be O3, and I think that's all that we need. So O3 adds a bunch of these, and what we're gonna add next is gonna be E1, and E1 is gonna remove the EE, which is the problem, and add a bunch of other things as well. So after E1, O3 doesn't remove anything interesting. So I think all I need to do is add H2 and H1. Because H1 removes all the things. And let me check. US. Oh, dang it. Who is removing AS? Who's removing... maybe that's not a problem. Because I do know that H2 adds a bunch of things. There it is. But we don't have AS. That's O3. Oh. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. O3 adds AS, but it also adds the EE. And E1 removes AS, and it removes EE. Which means we're going to need an extra... let me figure it out. We're going to need an extra mutagen. So let me try something else, because I think the experimentation can happen in my head, but it also can happen on camera. So we... No, that's the wrong one. This is how we can add. And I was thinking... You can see, like, it's a real shame that you can't see the sequences in here. I can see them, but the game really should add them here, just make the puzzle less frustrating, because it is really frustrating. Now, I was thinking O1 is a good candidate, because we know H2 is really good. That'd be this one. Because look at all that it adds. Now, the problem with that is the WB. But it adds a bunch of other things that are important for our sequence. So, what we want to do... What I want to do is I want to do trial and error through here. Let me do a little bit of it on camera, and then I'll do it off camera, and I'll succeed. But I was thinking that O2 was good. Like, for what I'm saying is... What I'm saying is... rather, not O2, O1. O3 and O1. Let's go with those two. So, for example, right now we can see that we have a PJ. These are not in order. It's so frustrating because everything is just compounding, really. But these two things are interesting because they look like, for example, PJ is needed, MV is needed, JT is needed, PP is needed, US is needed, EE isn't. But if I add the E1, which is about the only thing that can remove the E3, let's go with Echo 1 right there. Then we're left without the AS. Now, the problem is always going to be the AS, and that's why I was thinking that O3 was going to be needed, but the problem with O3 is that it removes WB. Does it? Well, it doesn't matter. Let's see. PJ we need. We're just sort of filtering things, in a way. So, PJ we need, MV we need, JT we need, PP, US, XL. Do we need XL? We do, yes. ZN or ZN, yes. Z? I don't, sure. T2 we don't need, so we're going to need to remove T2. That said, it might be impossible to remove T2 because I don't think we have a balance. So there are some things that, as soon as they add T2... Oh, that might be a trick. Because we can't remove all the things. So E3 is out of the question. We cannot use E3. Wow. Because we can't remove T2. Wow, that actually frees up some stuff. Okay. So I think I came to the same sequence as before. We're only really missing the AS. By using only E1, H1, H2, and O3, not in that order, but mostly in the order that we used before, we get to this sequence, and we're missing AS. And that's the problem. I don't know how to solve this. It's complicated. I'll come up with a sequence in the next episode, but I'll just make sure I have the notes all down. And it really sucks that some of these things are just not usable. The T2, for example, being added and just cannot be removed. It's brutal. But I will also be on the lookout for some of those, because if anything cannot be removed, I can discard them as well. So, yeah, that's going to be that for tonight. We're going to kill it short in the next episode. We're probably going to finish the Let's Play. But for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Underrail Expedition. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead, leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.